Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So if you saw my recent video where we went shopping in the range, I thought let's come along and have a play with the adhesive burlap paper that we bought. So yep, it was a pad. It's got 10 sheets of 8x8 burlap papers. So I just absolutely loved the look of this. Now the paper here, it's kind of like, yeah, leaving a sort of like thinnish kind of layer of like sticky glue. It's not overly sticky. I can't, you know, I don't think I would feel like 100% happy that that's going to stay stuck, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to possibly use this actually with the paper stuck on it for what we're going to do here. And obviously, you know, I have got 10 sheets of this, so we're going to come back and we're going to play with this some more. But it's just to get me started, I'm just going to make some pockets with the burlap. Yeah, like I say, I mean, I don't feel like the adhesive is that strong, so I'm going to kind of like leave it on there because I'm going to be stitching around on the pockets. So I think probably that's going to be best. I could take it off because I actually don't feel like it's very sticky. What do we think? It's probably too sticky to actually take it off. But yeah, it's probably not sticky enough to actually trust it to stay stuck down, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to kind of like leave it, I think. Right, so I brought along some papers that I thought would all coordinate quite nicely with the burlap. So I'm going to just fold them down to make some kind of like suitable sized pockets. Now, I'm not going to, or I'm going to try not to overthink this too much. So I'm just going to take this one, for example, fold it in here like this, and then we'll just trim it down like that. Okie dokie. This is from my core collection papers in the browns. I've got these in several different colours. They're kind of like a basic set of papers for your junk journals. So just going to pop that down there. Hold on, that was my mum and dad. Right, okay, so yeah, we're going to kind of do that. Now I'm thinking have a diagonal kind of pocket. Now just trying to work out how to get the best out of my sheet. I'm being like super stingy here because obviously I want to kind of make this last. So I'm going to cut it diagonal like this first, I think. Obviously as well, keeping the back on this, it's making it really easy to kind of like handle, because to be honest, burlap is not really great to handle at all if you're using it kind of naked without a backing. Okay, so that's our diagonal. Now, yeah, if I cut that through the middle, that's going to give me another diagonal, if you see what I mean. So that should do like 2 pockets. I will have to trim them down, but that's okay. So, yeah, like that. And then I'll be able to stick that straight onto there. Now, like I say, I'm going to stitch these because that's going to hold the burlap onto the backing. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do this. I actually hadn't realised it was adhesive. You know, I mean, obviously I realised it had a backing, but I thought it was like permanent backing. I didn't realise it was a sort of, I mean, look at that. That's kind of just like moving on there. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely couldn't really trust it to be, you know, stuck down permanently. But, you know, that's okay. So, yeah, I'm going to do it like that, I think. So, I'm going to just fold a few pockets to use. So like this. Now obviously I don't want to kind of like spend hours, you know, worrying about how they are size wise, so just going to kind of like go in and hope for the best. Oh, famous last words. This is where everything goes out the window, isn't it? But so these are my floral vintage floral set 1 or 2. This is my birds set 2, and this is the florals set 3. Absolutely love these, especially florals set 3. They're my favourite at the moment. Again, I do film ahead, so maybe something else, something else maybe is my favourite now. This is also the Floral Set 3, and so is this. But yeah, they're really, really nice. Or excuse what's on the back. That's my flea market paper. So yeah, just take these down. And even though we're making kind of like the same style pockets here, they're going to look quite different. Hopefully anyway, they're going to look quite different by the time that they've been decorated and all of that. So, you know, don't be too kind of like put off because you think, oh, how boring, we're making them all the same. I mean, like I say, this is just my first opening of that Burlap book. I will come back and we'll play more with it. So I might even have to go back in and get another one. I mean, this is my first play around with it. But I do really love, like, I don't know really whether you call it burlap or hessian, but yeah, I really love burlap / hessian. But I find it very, very difficult to work with normally because it's so, you know, ridiculous, like fraying, and you know, it's hard to kind of like cut and things like that. So having the backing on it just makes it a little bit easier to work with. So yeah, I might have to go back in and get a second one. I can't remember how much it was. Might have the price still on it. I think it was $3.99, which is probably not bad, to be honest. Oh, I'm feeling really warm now. Suddenly, oops, suddenly got really warm. Well, when I say really warm, I mean obviously not that warm. Again, just reiterating, I do film these ahead, so if it's like boiling hot summer right now, then it's not while I'm filming this. Right, okay. Okie dokie, right. Now, what I will do is before I actually stitch like the pockets together with the burlap, I'm going to have to go across the diagonal to make sure it's stitched permanently down. You know, because otherwise it could come undone, I think. So, okay, right. So, we've got this one. We've got this one. I mean, that's going to be just gorgeous on there, isn't it? Yeah, love it. Just checking which way around I want it. I mean, to be honest, it's lovely all of the ways, so I think we'll have it that way. Right, this one I just need to cut there. Can you see that? I don't know whether you could see that, but straight away it's like lifting from the adhesive backing. That's because it's really not very, you know, very sticky. Okay. Right, do we want it like that? Or, yeah, I think probably, is that? Yeah, like that. This one, or like that, or like that, or like that. Oops, or even, oh, this is one of those that just looks good every way that I put it. Probably like that, I think. Okay, right, I just need to now take this one. This one, I'm thinking actually I'm going to try and I'm going to cut it in half this way. You see, I would struggle to do this with a normal sheet of hessian because it would be like moving all over the place. Okay, and then let's try it now, kind of like just cut across here. So instead of that really diagonal, if you see what I mean, I've got it like this. I mean, weird, but they're two different diagonals, aren't they? So this one, as opposed to this, which has got to be a smaller pocket. So this one, obviously, we can make this much smaller, like up there. Okay. Just, oh, I don't know. Which way? Oh, maybe like that. Oh gosh, decisions. Maybe there. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to stitch all of my hessian first of all. Yeah, all of my hessian first of all. Then I'm going to stitch it around the pockets. Now, also what I might do is, you know, I love a bit of lace, so I might put some lace across the hessian at the same time. So let's just say here. Okay, oops. Like that. Now I have to be honest, my scissors are really blunt when it comes to fabric, so yep, bear with me a bit. I think this happens, you know, when you cut fabric and you cut paper with the same pair of scissors. I think one blunts out the other. Okay, so that would look absolutely gorgeous there, wouldn't it? So, and I may do some, maybe with like lace somewhere else, but I mean, to be honest, maybe I will put the lace on there like that. Oh, I don't know now. So tough to decide, isn't it? I could even have it down the side. Right. It's that one. Okay, let's put them to one side as I do these. Okay. This one. I mean, how gorgeous are these with the lace? They look so pretty, don't they? I mean, just, you know, just those small little things really make a huge difference. Right, so this is going to be cut up here. Like that. Okay, whoops. And then we're just going to put some lace on here. Now, I will trim these up once I've stitched them, but to be honest, I think these are going to be easiest to actually, like, make them and then trim them. Okay. Let me just grab a different pair of scissors because these are driving me potty. Oh, they're not much better. They're slightly better. But yeah, all my scissors are a little bit blunt because I don't tend to keep them like some for, you know, some for fabric and some for paper. I'm really terrible for just using them all for everything, which, you know, is the one thing that they tell you shouldn't really do, isn't it? You know, don't mix your scissors. So yeah, oh, sorry about that. That's my son just coming in. Okay, so yep, we'll just do this one. I mean, yeah, I'm tempted to do a bit of lace kind of maybe going across like that. Because that looks quite nice, doesn't it? So we just cut that one down like that. So what I'll do, what will I do? Yeah, I'm probably going to stitch the lace like across and then stitch the edge of the pocket and then stitch the whole thing down. Could even stitch the lace as an extra pocket, to be honest. I'll see how I get on with that because, you know, sometimes lace works well, sometimes it doesn't. It has to be pulled quite tight, taut, tight, for it to work as a pocket, if you see what I mean. Like, you know, kind of there's no point having it baggy because you're not going to be able to then put things in it. Or, you know, you're not going to not be able to put things in it, if you see what I mean, because it's just going to be bagging out. So let me just pull the sewing machine in and then we'll see. Okay, so I pulled the sewing machine up now. I've got to say, while I was pulling the sewing machine up, I then spotted this crochet lace and actually I thought I might prefer this on one or two of them. So I'm just going to take this on this one. Now, I'm going to struggle to do this. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stitch this edge first. Okay, so going straight down that edge, just so as it's attached to that backing paper, like that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then stitch it at the same time as the lace. I'm going to stitch it onto the paper. So I'm going to just start it off here, like that. Okay, like that. Right, now I'm going to try and put my lace down. Okay, so this is where I'm saying I need to get it pretty tight. So I'm going to stitch it here on one side. Oops. Oops, it's moving already. It's not very easy, to be honest. Yeah, and I'm not the best with the sewing machine, can you tell? Right, down there, down to the bottom. Right, now, oh dear, obviously haven't got it clamped. Right, so I'm going to stitch it here. Now, I'm going to have to pull it as I go so that I'm keeping it super tight. I mean, this is not my favourite type of thing to be doing, but I think it will look really nice. So I think it's worth the pain. Oops, probably one more stitch. Okay, right, straight down the edge like that. Okay. Now, I think, mess it up here, so I will go back down that edge in a minute. Just going to go across the top. Okay, like that. Right, so I'm going to come down. Let me just show you what I've done. Messed it up. I've come off the edge of the pocket there. So I'm just going to come down to that edge. Okay, like that. Okay. Right, so now I've got my little pocket here and I've got a pocket here. Now, can you see already that's not that tight. And I really did pull that pretty tight as we were stitching. So, you know, yeah, some lace is better than others. I mean, some people are better at doing it than others. I'm not obviously great, but yeah, just kind of like something to be aware of. If you're using the lace pockets, you really do need to kind of like pull it pretty tight, you know, at the point of sewing. I mean, to be honest, I wonder whether I could get it tighter. I don't know whether I can. I'm going to give it one more try. One more try. Just to see. Okay. So when I trim that pocket down, I can hopefully get it, you know, get it a little bit tighter just in there. Okay, so I'm going to go around and do all of my pockets. Again, now I'm like, oh, wish I'd used that crochet lace for most of them actually now. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Because I really do try and hoard that coffee dyed lace. So yeah, what a waste. Now much preferring the, oh, am I? Oh, do you know, I think maybe just mix and match it. So I'm going to quickly stitch all of those together and then I will come back. So hold on. Right, I'm back from the sewing machine. Now I have to be honest, that actually took me ages because unfortunately the sewing machine did not like going through the, you know, sticky back hessian. So I had to keep rethreading it and yep. This was what happened to one of the pieces. It's, yeah, not great. So we've kind of, yeah, got a bit of a sort of rehash. One or two, this one, I had to kind of change the pocket completely because this was this one that I just showed you. And so it obviously, you know, wasn't really salvageable. I have kept it because of course I will try and do something with it. But yeah, kind of not these. So I'm just going to leave that to the one side. So obviously they will need trimming down. So we'll just kind of like trim them up now. Yeah, I mean, it didn't damage my sewing machine or anything, but definitely the needle is kind of like a bit gunged up now. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. You know, I can probably now just wipe it with a wipe and it will come clean. But it's got the sticky residue around it, which was obviously what it was not liking when it was kind of like trying to sew it all. So yeah, just kind of like word of warning there really. If you're kind of doing things like this, it may just mess with your sewing machine slightly. In that, you know, you're going to have to keep on rethreading it. Now, I've got to be honest, it didn't happen with all of them, just with one or two. So whether one or two perhaps had a little bit more glue on them, you know, were kind of more sticky than others, I don't know. But yeah, just to kind of like warn you really. So, but you can see what I've done. I've stitched like the tops of all of the hessian pockets so that hopefully they're not going to then come away from like the glued backing. So, you know, that was kind of like, yeah, what I did with all of them. So just going to kind of like snip them all around, tidying them up a bit like that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make a brilliant job of sewing them, you know, no surprises there. because I'm not great with my sewing machine, and to be honest, you know, the lace was moving around and things. I probably should have glued the lace down a little bit, because you can probably see there it's got that sort of what do you call it, you know, when it's not like ruched exactly, but it's certainly not, you know, it's not laying as flat as I would have liked. So yeah, kind of a little bit of a faff to actually, you know, stitch around these, but you know, not unworkable, but yeah, not my favorite thing to do. Okay. So probably, yeah, I would recommend probably glue your lace down first, so this type of thing doesn't happen, because you can just see I've got a bit more sort of excess bag there than I would have liked. By bag, I mean like baggy. Again, I mean, I can just kind of like put a couple of dips or dabs of hot glue there, just to glue that down, you know, and now it's laying flat. So I just feel much happier, you know, with that now. So yeah, this one obviously I just put the crochet lace on instead, so just cutting that underneath that crochet lace, so as we've got like a little bit of a sort of crinkly bottomy type bit. Okay, like that, and then oops, I mean like fray galore. That's because I obviously had to restart several times, you know, with a few of these, so got a lot of like excess threads, but that's fine. Okay, and again, I did try and pull that as tight as I could, tight or taut as I could. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. So yeah, it is what it is, you know. You kind of like can only do so much. If it's not really wanting to pull really tight, then you know there's not a lot that you can do. I mean, maybe you've got some tips. Got some tips as to how to get your lace really super tight on there. I mean, I guess you could perhaps pin it in place. I don't know whether that would work. You know, I don't know whether the pins would really kind of stay put on lace, because lace is quite fiddly to work with. So, you know, if that was fabric, I probably wouldn't have had that problem in the first place, if I'm honest. But because it's lace, it's a little bit, got a little bit more movement than just, you know, just fabric would have. So yeah, but I mean, I don't mind. It all looks quite nice now. So okay, last one. Oops. Yeah, I mean, I do absolutely love the look of the lace, the hessian, you know, the hessian pocket. Turns out it wasn't really any easier to use than actual normal hessian, because actually where I gained without the movement of the hessian, because it has the backing, I lost with the whole, oh my goodness, you know, getting stuck in the sewing machine and then tearing the pocket and all of that kind of thing. So I don't actually think I really gained anything by having a sticky back, you know, whereas when I first used it, I thought, oh, this is going to be brilliant. I'm going to rush back and buy another pad. I might do, because I do like the look of it, but not because it's turned out it's like, you know, way easier than using normal hessian. So yeah, we shall see. But don't the pockets look absolutely yummy and gorgeous? Absolutely love those. Right, okay, so let's kind of just decorate a couple of these. So I've got a couple of little you know, decorative items that I've made separately. So just going to ink this up now. Just wondering whether I want to coffee dye my papers. I maybe do. Let's just want these all looking quite grungy, you know, if I can. So it's a bit annoying, because yeah, that's not actually going to fit on any of them now. So oh, how annoying. Right, okay, well, I definitely love this on here. So just going to bring in my coffee dye, which I like to just leave kind of like behind my desk, really. So just literally coffee dye the pockets there. Again, probably, you know, doing this in a very haphazard way. Probably should have actually coffee dyed the pockets first, but I don't think it really matters, to be honest. But yeah, just kind of like thought they would look good against the hessian being coffee dyed. You know, I think it would suit it. So, and then this one as well. I saved this black one and this one till last because obviously when you've got lots of black ink, that's when I find that, you know, it can be a little bit smudgy. You can probably see I've got a little bit of smudge going on this one. You know, because it's got a lot of black text on it. You know, it can't be helped really, but yeah, just something to be a little bit kind of aware of really. Right, okay, so let's do this one first because I already know that I just absolutely love the look of this. So, going to glue this down. Do we think, oh, yeah, let's give this a try. So this is just my normal glue, which, you know, it's Anita's tacky glue. It's PVA based glue, but to be honest, I do find it glues pretty well onto, you know, paper and fabric. The only thing that I would say is, you know, you can probably see it's wanting to lift. I'm going to have to like keep that, you know, something pressed down on there just until it's actually stuck. So, you know, that's just something to be a little bit aware of. So I'm just going to put my stapler on there for a minute. And then I'm going to try and do a little hessian, not hessian, got hessian on the brain now, a little sari silk bow on this because I think that would look so cute coming off at the edge. So this is some sari silk. I've torn it in half because sometimes I find sari silk can be a little bit on the wide side. So I've torn this in half. I'm just going to, I'm hoping that where I've torn it in half it would be flat enough to not bulk the pocket out too much. So let's just see. Okay. Oh my goodness. No. Sometimes I can do bows really quickly, but yeah, it's not today. Yeah. Sometimes they go really well, sometimes they're really awful. Today is one of those awful days. Right, okay. So you just need to kind of like keep on pulling the you know, the legs until you get it as you want it. There we go. Right. Okay, right. Liking the look of that. So yeah, isn't that going to look gorgeous on there? Now, just going to snip that down. Now, do we want that on that edge? Yeah, I'm going to put it on here, I think. I just thought that the bow kind of like, you know, because the burlap or hessian, you know, it's quite raggedy and rusticy looking. So I thought that the bow would look quite raggedy and rusticy looking as well. So let's just glue that down. Putting it on sideways just so it's not actually kind of going over that picture that we've glued on there. Then not that it's stuck on there yet, but you know, it's still just wanting to lift, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully it will stick down. Right, so that's my little bow. How gorgeous. And then of course we want some bling. Might even have a butterfly on here, I'm not sure yet. Oh, or maybe even just a little flower. Just have a look at this. Oh, I'm not sure. Let me just see what butterflies I've got. Just whether I've got any, you know, like, I think I've got like an abundance of purpley ones here, which, I mean, I haven't got anything purple in that picture, in the paper, so isn't that just typical? I need to obviously cut out some blue ones. Oh, come on. Must have something here, surely. No, of course I haven't. That would just be way too... Oh my gosh, we have something like that there. So this is just from my little itty bitty bits. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous does that look? So yeah, I'm going to have that up there. So I will coffee dye these. They're printed on 230 GSM, like thicker paper. So they're not like flimsy ones, but I think they would look quite nice being coffee dyed. So that one, I'm just going to rest it on my hot glue gun to dry. Find that very helpful. Okay. Oh, I'm now thinking I'm going to maybe put these with the flower. So yeah, we'll have a look in a second. Get some bling that we can put on here. Oh, look what I found laying around on my desk. Always good to have a little rummage because you never know what you can find. I mean, I can't now find the bling, obviously, but hey, I did find the butterflies, so you can't have everything, can you? See, you just find one thing and lose something else. Here's some bling. Here we go. Right. Let's just trim this down. Okay. Right. Right. Let's cut a butterfly out. Oh, and they've even been coffee dyed, would you believe? What an absolute brilliant find, just laying about there. Honestly, I mean, what were the chances of actually finding like 2 blue ones and that have been coffee dyed? That's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. Right. Okay, I don't know about this yet, but I mean, that's already dry, would you believe? That one not so much because it fell off of the hot glue gun, but just pop that down there for a second. Right. So could even have the bling on here. I'm just going to cut this. Cut that down, make it smaller. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue here. Can you see that? That's how I dry my stuff. So you know, whenever I say, oh, I'm just resting it on my hot glue gun, that's what I'm talking about. Just kind of like rest it there. It's honestly, it's a brilliant way to just dry the odd thing. Obviously you couldn't really dry like loads of stuff, but if you're just wanting 1 or 2 things dried, it works really well. Oops. Right. Okay. Well, now I'm wishing that I'd done it that side. Let's just try that there. Can't decide now. I mean, I do quite like the look of that. What do we think? I don't know whether this one's quite the right colour, if I'm honest. I think that's probably throwing me out a little bit. Let's just have a look and see what other ones I've got. Oh, what about that? Probably better, to be honest. Oh dear, back to the coffee dyeing and drying on my hot glue. Yeah, I think that other one is a bit too green. Absolutely love it, but it's not probably quite right. Right, let's dry that on the hot glue. Honestly, like, you know, 30 seconds, that'll be dry, so really not long. Okay. So let's move this one. Put that there. Yeah, can't decide. Could even have the bling there, I suppose, but let's just see. Okay, it's already dry. I'm not 100%, obviously, but yeah, not too far off. So I mean, they're pretty good, aren't they? You know, pretty good way to dry it. Okay. Right. Okay, do we want the bling here do we want the bling here? Yeah, I quite like it there, I think. So just pop that down. Whoops. Like that. Oh, it looks bad. A bit like it's about to rain. And then the flower, I think, up there in the corner. So I'm just going to quickly glue these together. Like that. Okay. And then we'll just glue those down in the corner. Like that. Okay, and then do we want the flower on there? Do we want the butterfly on there? Have the flower there. Let's just try it again. If we had the flower there, let's just see what have I got, like a centre for the flower. Yeah. So I'm just going to pop that flower down there. Put the centre on. Down. Like that. Okay. I mean, how gorgeous does that look? Absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? I'm gonna have the butterfly, I think, on that side actually, just because it will balance out the, you know, the blue on either side then, I think. So just pop it down there. There we go. How gorgeous does that look? Absolutely love it. Honestly, I really do like hessian. It's just really yummy, isn't it? Kind of like really nice texture. Okay, let's do this one because I really like the look of this one. So let's clean the threads up a bit. Okay, right, not quite sure, but I have got a little label piece here. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous does that look? Okay, so again, just ink this up a bit. Could have coffee dyed it, but hey, inking is just as good. So yeah, oh my gosh, that looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? To glue this down on that lace, I'm going to just pop this little card, inside there, just so that it doesn't get glued onto the hessian, because obviously, you know, there's a possibility it would have got stuck onto that hessian otherwise. So, you know, going through the holes of the lace, and then before I know it, it's actually stuck on the hessian as well. Oh, now look, an idiot. Didn't notice that. Right. Okay. There we go. Move that out. Oh my goodness, how lovely does that pocket look? Absolutely love it. Now, do we want a little bit of bling on there? I think we do, because I think the bling would just literally finish that off perfectly. So, because, you know, we've got like loads of black going off on that pocket anyway, so how much better finished could that possibly be than having the black bling on there? Okay. There we go. Just popping that down there. Gorgeous. Now I have got some black bows. I'm just going to see. This might be too big for it, but let's give it a try. Oops. Oh my goodness, doesn't that just like take it to the next level? Just sort of elevates it completely, doesn't it? I mean, it looked nice anyway, but wow, with the bow on there as well. It's just like, it was the difference between it looking like it was going to a, you know, black tie event and, you know, just kind of like a little bit of a sort of nice meal out. It's now like proper dressed for the black tie event, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely love that. Oh, you know what's going to happen with all of these, don't you? Yep, they're going to go into my hoarding pile. I really need to stop with that and not not allow myself to hoard them, but something tells me that I'm going to fail with that. You know, I don't want to hoard things, but you know what it's like? It kind of like, you make them and then it's like, oh, that is so lovely. I really like it. And of course I don't want to then part with it. And I mean, I've talked about this before, but all that happens is it sits in my stash like forever and ever. And then it suddenly comes to the point where it's kind of like, oh, you know, wouldn't be able to use that now because my style's slightly different. Or, you know, wouldn't be able to use that because, I don't know, something else. And then you're just like, well, what was the point in hoarding it? I might as well have used it straight away. It's just like madness. Literally crazy, crazy behaviour. Right, hold on. My son's just brought me up a cup of tea. Right, okay, so let's maybe have some sari silk running across the bottom, I think. So just also covers up my shoddy sewing, which is very wonky. Not that that really bothers me too much, I'll be honest, but okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Bit more. Oh, come on. Didn't know whether I would have quite enough to go the right way along or right the way across the whole pocket, but yeah, there's actually plenty there. So, yep, snip that off there. And on the side. I mean, how gorgeous does that pocket look? Absolutely lovely. So, I mean, they all look quite different, don't they? Now, do we like that blue butterfly? I'm not sure, if I'm honest, whether that actually is a very good colour match on there. I feel like it's, yeah, potentially a little bit on the bright side. I wonder whether we could just have a bit of bling. A bit of bling maybe on the side. Oh yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Don't normally do bling. Don't know whether I don't normally do it vertically or whether I don't normally do it on the side. Or maybe both, on the side and vertically, but okay. Like that. Oh, I love that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, really, really nice. Okay, so that's that one. Right, let's bring in, where are those birds now? Dropped off of the hot glue gun. Oh, they're under my teacup. There we go. Right, they're not that dry. Right, I quite like them here. Kind of like coming out from the pocket, I think. No. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Right, okay, so these are not that dry. Let me just put them on the hot glue for another couple of minutes because otherwise they're not going to want to stick down very well. Let's try this one. Okay. Again, there's bits on there that aren't particularly dry, but it's okay. Have a sip of my tea. Okay, let's just tidy this bit of lace up. Oops. Yeah, we could just have a little bit of lace at the top. I mean, how gorgeous does that look? And this here, I think, or we could have it there. I think up there. So just going to glue this down up here. Just use the wet glue. She says it's not coming out. Oh, what's going on with that? I've only just opened it, so that's really annoying. Opened it this morning. Yeah. glue out. Okay, right, pop that down there. Oh my gosh, look about slippery. Obviously got way too much glue on there because my gosh, that's just sliding everywhere. Okay, right, like that. And yeah, let's do that one there. Yeah, just press that down. Got a little bit of lace here. Do we want it up there or do we want it here? I mean, that's a lot of lace on that little tiny pocket, but that being said, I actually think it can, you know, it can pull that off, can't it? It looks quite good. Just looking to see if I've got any more little scraps of sari silk that I could just, because I thought, oh, we could have a little bit of sari silk at the top. No, I haven't got any. I've got a little bit of coffee dyed lace. I mean, I know that's a very, very lacy pocket now, but my gosh. I mean, sometimes I just think you can never have enough lace. So yeah, let's go for that. So a little bit here. Glue that down. Like that. Okay, looking good. Right, so to glue the little label down, again, just going to put this in here so that it's not getting glued onto everything. Like that. Okay. Looking good, looking good. And then, whoops. Oh, not looking so good if I pull it all off. There we go. And then we'll just have a little bit of this coffee dyed lace that just happened to be floating around, and unbelievably it just happened to be exactly the right size. So yeah, why wouldn't we use that there? It was like it was just made for the pocket, wasn't it? So again, just snip that out on this side. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Now it is curling slightly. That's because this is still wet. When it dries, it will be fine. And definitely when it's glued down, it would be glued, you know, and then it will be, you know, laying much flatter. So yeah, we'll be fine. Just gonna possibly have a little bit of bling there. That was just from earlier. Okay, oops. Yeah, we just have a little bit of bling just to the side, I think. Okay, oops. These birds were now just dropping around. There we go. Oh. Oh, there was obviously no glue under that end one. Right, there we go. There we go. Right. Oh, that looks just super cute, doesn't it? Really, really pretty. Like I say, it will stop curling up once this is dry, and definitely, obviously, once it's glued down on a page. You know, it won't be curling up, so yeah, it will be fine. Right, this one, I'm thinking, yeah, have the birds poking out there. And I think we probably want to add something a little bit pink, because this has got a bit of a pink tinge going on. So, oh, again, I shouldn't have bothered moving the coffee. Okay. That's it. Just, again, just dry that, oops, dry that on the hot glue. Honestly, sometimes I'm just like, you know, if the hot glue wasn't useful for gluing, it definitely comes in handy for drying stuff. So yeah, always worth having it, always worth using it. Now just wondering whether I want to have a bow. I don't think I've really got any that are quite right. Got a white one, it's a bit stark. I tell you what, I've never tried doing. I've never tried dyeing the white bows coffee dyed. Shall we give that a try? Just because, wow, that would be like life-changing, to be honest. You know, depending on how they look. I mean, obviously, won't be if they look rubbish, but if they dye really well, oh my gosh, they'll become my new favourite ones. I'm just going to put this on the hot glue gun, because that would also dry very quickly. Right, okay. Didn't coffee dye that, so I can go back in the pot. Okie dokie. Yeah. I'm just wondering whether alternatively I could have like a wax seal on here. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly finish my tea. Right, finish that. Let me just put in my wax seals. So I've got a bunch that are ready waxed. Never ever have quite the right colour, which is so annoying. You know, I thought, oh, I'm gonna like have loads ready, and what you don't factor in is obviously, you know, the chances are they're not going to be the right colour, which is really annoying. Really annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a load more in different colours, because I've got like none here that are quite right. That one is kind of sort of not bad, but I mean, it's not quite right. Yeah, I can't lie, it's not quite right. Let me put those out the way. I've got some without the gold on, just because when I did them I thought, oh, I don't want to gold them all, you know, I want some gold and some not. Actually now I kind of feel a bit like actually I probably prefer them all gold. But you know, you can always kind of like gold them up as you come to use them. Oh, no, none the right colour. That's exactly what I said, isn't it? Just none that are quite right. Frustrating. Oh, how annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna make some more. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe that will be my little chore for tonight. Maybe after dinner I'll just come and do a mass waxing session. Yep, not waxing my legs or anything useful, but mass waxing. You know, making wax seals. Oh, this is not drying as quickly as the papery things. Yeah. Didn't realise that was going to take so long. Just going to have a look and see if I've got any ribbon or anything that could kind of like come out of here. You know, like, oh, actually, just wonder whether I could use a bit of sari silk coming out. You know, like a little bit of, almost like a little bit of a tassel. Or, oh, I wonder if I could have it like this. I don't know, let me just see. I mean, sometimes I see people do like bows with a wax seal, but I'm not sure whether I'd be very good at doing that, because I feel like the bow would have to be enormous. Right, let's just see. Let's see. I mean, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Because you can't really even see the bow in there. Let's just pop it like that. What do we think to that? Is that like really strange? It's not right, is it? It's not quite right. I wonder whether people do just like a loop and then another loop. Or like, let's see if I've got another bit. Because I feel like people actually use, you know, reasonably longish kind of bits. I don't know. Now I'm like, am I just making this up? Have I ever seen anyone doing this, or is it just in my imagination? Because now I can't quite really picture what they do look like when in my head when I've seen them. I mean, what I'm wondering is, like, you know, sort of if I did that And if I did that, obviously these are different colours, so I'm not suggesting this, but you know, is that how people do it? Oops. Like that. And that would be then how you'd get it looking like a bow. I don't know. Right, I've got some saris. Oh, it's a bit short and it is joined, which is annoying. Right, let's try this. So I'm going to take this down here. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking, oh dear, what? Oh gosh, this is not going to work. Not going to work. Right, let's glue this here. So it's like held together in a loop. So that would be like a loop, you know, like on a bow. And then this side, it's not the right colour, is it? I mean, that's really strange because it's not the same colour sari silk, but... What's going on with my bow now? Still not quite dry, but actually it's not coffee dyed badly. So yeah, going forward, I can definitely do that. Right, let's take this apart. Okay. Let's make this slightly skinnier. Okay. So then I'm thinking, put a loop here. Oh gosh, this is not looking good. Like that. Ooh. I mean, this is like budget central. Budget central. Right, so then if I was to then put these two together. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's probably like a really simple way of doing this, but I can't think what it would be. Oh my gosh. No, that looks absolutely rubbish, doesn't it? Absolutely awful. About like that. I feel like these need to be more in. Just try cutting this down a bit. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is just like a how not to video. So yeah, please just ignore everything I'm doing here. It's not great. Not great at all. But I mean, you've got to experiment, haven't you? Because otherwise, you know, you're never gonna find any new things to do. Right. I mean, that just looks awful. How do people do these? Where they would get like a really good look for their bow, I wonder. How weird. Right, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this down. Now, if ever I've done this and I don't like this shape, you know, if I've cut a wax seal down, what I do is I just bring in my lighter and I just go round the cut edge that just rounds it slightly. So, you know, I mean, actually, as it happens, by a miracle, I actually haven't made too bad a job of that. But if I had and I wasn't happy with it, I would just get my lighter and just go around the edges, and then it would just kind of round it off a little bit better. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that looks so awful, doesn't it? Oh, if you know, how do people get this nice look where they would have a really lovely bow? If you know, let me know. What would you recommend? Because that looks ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy. Well, actually, it doesn't look as bad now it's down. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the desired look, you know, not as bad, but maybe that's kind of the trick, is like twist the legs. Yeah, that's better. That is better. Right. Let's put this here for a minute. Oh my gosh. What's going on? Right, I'm just going to twist these, glue that down, twisted. because I feel like it needs to have, you know, like that little bit of sort of movement, if you know what I mean. So like that. Okay. Right. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is so rubbish. I can't tell you. Let's just take that and just snip this in. I mean, to be honest, there must be a better way of doing this. This cannot be how people would do this, I'm sure. Because my goodness, what a bodge. What an absolute bodge that is. Right, what do we think? That's that way. That's that way. Probably better this way. Slightly better. Oh, do you know, I'm going to just go for it because, to be honest, I feel like I could be here literally the whole day otherwise, just messing about with this. So, yeah, let's just glue this down and just hope for the best. Right, I'm just going to very slightly just trim this in. Just so it's got slightly more elegance to it, because it feels like it's quite ginormous. And maybe, oh no, look what I've done. Such a rubbish kind of, you know, when it comes to anything, oh my gosh, anything a little bit delicate, I'm just awful. Oh, honestly, how do people get this? How do people get this appearance? I have no idea. Oh, not like this, that's for sure. Definitely not like this. Oh my gosh, now look. Now look. Oh, there's something weird going on up here. Right. Which way up did I think those legs needed to be? I think that way. I think that there. What do we reckon? Does that look absolutely rubbish, or does it look okay? And just bring it up to the camera, unless I have it up there. Just, I'm not sure whether that's really resembling a bow, if I'm honest. What do we think? I mean, why? Why is that not resembling a bow? I don't know. Do we think they need to be more sort of like that rather than down? What do we think? Oh, I'm so sorry about that. That was my daughter then phoning saying, can I pick her up from school? Right, okay, so yeah, I've made a terrible job of this, but hey, I'm gonna just go for it because otherwise I'm just gonna be here all day. So I'm gonna glue these birds down. Again, just gonna use my hot glue because I want them just glued down. I mean, wow, this pocket's just taken forever. And really, not the pocket, but just that awful job of that bow that I've done there. I mean, yeah, what a bodge. Right, okay. Now, do we like it better, like, you know, like that? Yeah, I think so. Right, okay. Fingers crossed that I'm able to now glue the wax seal down on top of it. Oh my gosh, this is not looking good. Right, that's not, you know, that's not the look for me, obviously, because, yeah, clearly that's just beyond my capabilities to do things like that, so I won't be trying to do that again. Well, unless I practice and manage to somehow, you know, pull off doing it and get the knack. Loving this white bow, coffee dyed. Definitely, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Going to coffee dye a whole bunch of those because I'll be honest, I hardly ever use them in white, but coffee dyed, wow, they're lovely, aren't they? Right, okay. After that debacle with the bow, let's see the ones that we've done. So that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And this one I still need to decorate, but obviously we've run out of time because we've been messing about with this pathetic attempt at a bow down there. I mean, wow, I've even like melted the wax seal a bit and oh, it's not good. Oh well. it's okay. I mean, I like the pocket, to be fair now. So yeah, let me know which one that you like best. I think my favourite is still either this one or this one, which, oh, I just think that's so elegant. So yeah, let me know which one you like best. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have fun if you decide to do something similar. And I would really appreciate a big thumbs up for this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscribing. So thanks so much then, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.